Is there any association between personality traits and people remembering or liking certain types of music? Or is it mostly just kind of how you grew up or something else?
Well, it's going to be a combination of those things. So we tend to prefer things we're familiar with, and so if there's particular music that we're hearing when we're growing up, well, certainly it'll factor prominently for us. But then there's also research on showing that people with certain personality traits tend to prefer certain genres of music more. So it's certainly the case that there are various musical preferences that people have. And indeed, some of those do seem to be motivated by personality traits. In particular, openness to new experiences, or extroversion. So people who are more extroverted, tend to like higher energy music. So one does find those associations, though they don't explain everything about preferences.
Of course, yeah. It's easy to imagine, an extroverted college student at a rave listening to EDM, and a kind of more quiet, like in the country guy in his truck listening to, country music. So maybe the stereotypes are somewhat true, but of course there's always variations.
Yeah, I mean, I think, they are. I mean, so much of it's driven by our environments that we're in, what we're exposed to. But then, to the extent that people vary sort of in their energy levels, or whether, they're more introspective or, extroverted or what have you, then, that's likely to translate to the types of activities they engage in, or, the kind of music soundtracks that they want to have accompanying such activities. So I think it all kind of ends up combining.
Yeah, it all impacts each other. To what extent does maybe pure repetition impact that? Because my dad has a theory that people's music taste is just kind of like what they grew up hearing, what they hear over and over again. Songs on the radio becoming popular because people hear them over and over again. Songs your friends listen to, you liking because you hear them over and over. To what extent does just maybe pure repetition impact people's liking of music?
So it does have an effect. I think many people have had the experience where they'll hear a piece of music once, that maybe a friend told them, oh yeah, this is really cool, and you hear it the first time, and you're like, yeah, I don't know that I really like it, but then you give it a second or third listen, and it just grows on you over time. Maybe that's because you're discovering new things in it. You're hearing things you didn't hear before. So certainly it's the case that with added repetitions, people's liking for things, not only music, but in general, will increase. But after, say, 15 repetitions or so, things will actually tend to plateau and may even go the other direction, right? So it's definitely possible to over consume something, right? Sort of tire of it for a while. And so music is no different.
Yeah, there's a lot of people say songs are overplayed on the radio and stuff like that. Overplayed on TikTok now, I guess you would say, more so. But getting more into